Bonjour, bienvenue à toutes et à tous. Merci de nous regarder en direct sur EBS et aussi sur notre application WebEx. Nous sommes aujourd'hui le vendredi 24 avril. Nous allons commencer avec les annonces pour aujourd'hui. Donc, comme tous les vendredis, permettez-moi de commencer avec l'agenda de la présidente von der Leyen pour la semaine à venir. Je n'ai que deux choses à annoncer pour la semaine prochaine. Premièrement, le mardi 28 avril, la présidente aura, conjointement avec le président Michel, président du Conseil européen Michel, une vidéoconférence avec les chefs d'État et de gouvernement du G5 Sahel. Et mercredi, bien entendu, la présidente présidera la réunion du collège, comme toujours. I would now like to pass the floor to Marta, who's online, for an announcement related to deconfinement. So it's Marta with her employment hat on today. Marta.
That's correct. Thank you very much, Eric. And I will do the announcement in French. Donc aujourd'hui, l'Agence européenne pour la sécurité et la santé au travail a publié des conseils à suivre sur le retour au travail après le coronavirus. Ces conseils offrent donc des indications pratiques aux entreprises et aux employeurs pour assurer un travail en toute sécurité. Les sujets qui sont couverts sont l'évaluation des risques et des mesures appropriées, comment associer les travailleurs, prendre soin des travailleurs qui ont été malades, planifier et tirer des enseignements pour l'avenir, rester bien informés, et ainsi que des informations à destination des secteurs et des professionnels. Ces conseils contiennent également plusieurs liens vers des informations nationales sur des secteurs et des professions spécifiques. Ces orientations ont été également préparées en collaboration avec la Commission européenne et vont être mises à jour régulièrement en fonction de l'évolution de la situation, bien entendu. Et vous trouverez plus de détails sur ce sujet ainsi que le lien vers les orientations elles-mêmes dans notre communiqué de presse. Merci.
Merci Martha. Nous passons maintenant à une annonce de Balázs sur la protection civile.
Indeed, good afternoon. The EU is coordinating the delivery of material assistance to 6 Dutch Caribbean islands to alleviate stock shortages. This comes as a response to the activation of the EU Civil Protection Mechanism. Thanks to an offer by the Netherlands, medical equipment such as personal protective equipment, ventilators and medications are now being delivered with EU support to Curaçao, Bonaire, Aruba, Saint Martin, Saint Eustatius and Saba.
Thank you very much, Balázs. And finally, Suzanne has our traditional Friday culture news to help you prepare for the weekend. Suzanne, this time on stage and not online.
Yes, hello, good afternoon, everybody. Well, this weekend we are all invited to dance. Aerowaves is a hub for dance discovery in Europe, a network of partners in 33 countries, and it's supported by the Creative Europe program. And for obvious reasons, their annual festival of contemporary art can't take place in the usual way. The name is Spring Forward 2020. And so they have planned to bring it to us, to bring it to our homes. From today until Sunday, the 26th of April, audience can enjoy 22 full-length live performances and participate also in questions and answer sessions with the artists. People are also invited to take a virtual tour of the festival's venues in Rijeka, our current one of the 2 European Capitals of Culture 2020, and Opatija, the 2 places where the festival was supposed to take place. Thank you.
Excellent. And you had the airwaves.org website put up on screen behind you, so just follow the link. Now, I also have a housekeeping announcement to make today for you. As you know, we try to keep innovating in our new virtual press room arrangements, and thus I'm happy to inform you that in agreement with API, as of Monday onwards, we will be offering one-day accreditations to journalists who are not accredited to the Brussels institutions. Those who are interested, therefore, in taking part to our online press briefing should register the day before 3 p.m., and details on how to apply will be available on our website. So, for example, for Monday's press briefing, you should apply by 3 p.m. today so that we can check your accreditation details, as we usually do when journalists come to Brussels and request a one-day accreditation. The details of how the system will work are on the website, but the basics of it is that we will limit this to 10 accreditations a day. We will prioritize journalists from a media that does not have a permanent accredited journalist here in Brussels, and we will rotate. We will test the system for a while, see how it works, and adapt as necessary, always in consultation with API. Then I would also like to remind you of the full menu of press events that we still have for you today. At 1:15, Michel Barnier, the European Commission's chief negotiator for the agreement with the United Kingdom, will give a press conference following the second round of future relation negotiations with the UK. This will be followed by an off-the-record technical briefing on the same topic, shared by Dan Ferry. And then at 3 p.m., President von der Leyen will take part in a press conference organized by the WHO with other leaders on the call for global action against the coronavirus. You can, of course, follow these events live on EBS, as always. Et enfin, avant de passer à vos questions, je voudrais féliciter notre collègue Peter Stano, qui fête aujourd'hui son anniversaire. Voilà, bon anniversaire, Peter. J'espère que les journalistes auront des questions cadeaux pour toi aujourd'hui.
Merci beaucoup.
Voilà, avec ceci, nous sommes prêts à passer à vos questions. And I see that Gabriella has asked for the floor, so we will start with you. Gabriella, you have the floor.
Hi, this is Gabriela. Thanks for taking the question. I wanted to ask about state aid schemes so far granted to help companies battling coronavirus, and specifically why the Commission has not attached any strings related to the Green Deal to these state aid schemes. So far, there have been no requirements for member states to honor Green Deal in granting state aid. So could you please explain why that has been the case, and what are your plans in that regard for the future? Thank you.
Okay, Gabrielle, I think this is an issue that we have already touched upon in previous days, but I will let Ariana repeat the main elements of our thinking on this.
Good morning, everyone. So yes, indeed, as I had the occasion to say yesterday, it is up to member states to decide if they wish to grant aid and to design measures in line with EU state aid rules and their policy objectives, such as enabling the green and digital transformation of their economies. A targeted and proportionate application of EU state aid rules ensures that national support measures effectively help companies affected by the economic impact of the coronavirus outbreak, whilst limiting undue distortion of the EU's single market. It can complement, but cannot replace, the need for EU and national regulation to enable Europe's economy to seize the full opportunity of the twin digital and green transitions.
Right. So this is what we can say on this issue. I don't know if there are other questions on this. I see that David Carreta, you have raised your hand. Is it on this issue? David?
Yes, it is on competition, if
okay.
I may.
Go ahead, yeah.
Thank you, and good morning. My question is on Alitalia, because yesterday the transport minister said that there will be a new co in June, and it will operate with 90 airplanes. Since the European Commission was quite clear on the fact that state aid to COVID were okay, but at the same time, the Alitalia issue was a little bit different from the COVID crisis. I'm wondering if you have any comment or you can say anything on that issue. Thank you.
So, hi, David. Well, on your specific question, we have no comment. More generally, the Commission is very well aware of the difficult situation that the aviation sector is facing due to the coronavirus outbreak. EU state aid rules enable member states to support companies affected by the outbreak, including those active in the aviation sector. The Commission is working with Italy as well with other member states to discuss possibilities to support the aviation sector in line with the EU rules.
Okay, thank you very much. Any other questions related to competition for Ariana today? I do not see any, so we can move to other subjects. Thank you, Ariana. Any other questions for us today? Yes. Okay. Athanasios had asked for the floor initially, so Athanasios, we come to you now. Good afternoon.
Thanks very much, Eric.
We can hear you. Go ahead.
This has to do with the ongoing negotiations between the institutions and the Greek authorities concerning the possible extension of a protection scheme, the protection of the primary residence against foreclosure. It was formerly known as the Katselli law. Now the government thinks that they should extend this protection due to the COVID-19 pandemic, but apparently there are some problems with the ongoing negotiations with the institutions. So I was wondering, what's the official position of the European Commission concerning this thing? Everything else has been adapted to the COVID-19 pandemic extreme situation, but how can this thing remain the same? I mean, the need to abolish this protection scheme right now. Thanks.
If I understand your question, because I'm not aware of this issue myself, I suspect it's a question for Marta. Marta.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Eric, and thanks, Athanasios, for your question. Athanasios, as you're aware, the discussions with Athens to prepare the sixth enhanced surveillance report are ongoing. They're held by video conference in the current circumstances. They will continue next week. So on your specific question on the extension of the protection of primary residency scheme, discussions are indeed continuing. So I cannot comment at the moment on the results or on the ongoing discussions themselves. Thank you.
Follow up.
Go ahead.
As everything has been adjusted due to the pandemic, should we expect that this thing will also adjust? There will be something different than the initial intent. And that's very practical right now, because, you know, there are no banks, there are no businesses going on, there are no non-performing loans that have to be paid out right now. It's an extreme situation, and remain persistent on culture of payments doesn't really make sense. So is your position altered compared to what it was before the pandemic on this thing? Thanks.
The only thing I can say at this stage, Athanasios, is that the discussions are ongoing. They will continue next week, and that they will take into account the impact of the coronavirus crisis.
Okay.
Thank you.
Very good.
You will have to watch this space and see what the results of the discussions are. Thanks a lot. So I see that Quentin has his hand raised, so I suppose that it's a question for Marta. Quentin, you have the floor.
No, sorry, it's not for Marta, it was for you.
Okay, so...
But I will wait, I will wait.
Okay, thank you very much. I see that there is Ivan. Ivan, is it a question for Marta? If not, please unraise your hand, but tell us, is it for Marta?
No, it's a question for Anna.
Okay, so in that case, I do not see any other questions for Marta at this stage. So Quentin, you have the floor again.
Okay, thank you, Eric. It was just maybe to understand what's happening between the contract of the office of Mrs. von der Leyen with the PR company Story Machine. Are you able to confirm what happened in the Swiss media outlets yesterday? And would it be possible to have some details on the contract, like the cahier des charges or the pricings of those services?
Thanks for your question, Quentin. There is no contract between the office of the president and this company Story Machine. There was a contract set up privately between the president when she was not yet president of the commission, when she had been appointed candidate to this position, and this company to help her set up her social media account, basically, because at that time she needed support in order to do that in her private capacity. So this is a private contract between her and a company. The contract is still ongoing, and it basically allows her to get ex post feedback once in a while, once every month or once every 6 weeks, from what I understand, on how her social media performance is. She gets basically some private advice on this from this company. And that is really all that there is to say on this contract. Yes, you have a follow-up?
Just follow up, but who pays for it and how much?
No, as I've said, it's a private contract. She pays for it herself. It's as if
with the commission salary.
Well, so does that mean that if I buy a car with my commission salary, it's somehow the commission buying the car? Quentin, once you get a salary from the institution you are working for, it's your private money, and you can do with it, I guess, what you wish. So she had set up a contract, by the way, at a time when she was not yet receiving a commission salary, to get some ex post advice. So it's not a commission contract; it's a private arrangement, just as if I, as commission spokesperson, I wanted to get some advice on my performance on stage, how I'm doing when I'm answering your questions, do I stand straight, do I speak clearly, etc., etc. And I do it with people that I trust to provide me that sort of advice. Okay, I hope this answers your questions. Are there other questions on this issue? I see actually quite a few. Oliver. Oliver Grimm.
Hi, do you hear me?
Yes, I hear you, Oliver. Hi.
Yes, yes. On the Story Machine issue, a couple of questions. First of all, why did she need an external advisor to set up a Twitter account and to run it? Why did she not ask the Commission DG Communication, which has excellent experts? Some of them are here among us now, who actually trained and paid to do exactly these things. Why does she now need an external advisor for this? And then secondly, the problem
we can't hear you well, Oliver.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me better?
Yeah, a little bit better, yeah.
Why does she need an external advisor for this when you have DG Communication with lots of really well-trained people to do that? And then secondly, there is a difference between her being not the Commission President yet and relying on private advice, and her now being in an official function and still relying on an undisclosed private contract that actually is related to her political work because it's about her political public image. So why was this contract not made public? Because the difference between you buying a car and her getting PR advice is of a fundamental nature. Thank you.
Well, why did she need a contract at the time? Look, why did she not use DG.com services? Let me remind you that at the time, she was not yet a working employed, if I can put it that way, although it's perhaps not exactly the way you should put it, by the European institutions. And if she felt that she needed at that point external support in order to run what was not yet a commission account, but a private account, I think that is perfectly legitimate. And that contract was set up. As of the day when she became president of the commission, there was obviously no question that anybody would be running her account except for commission staff. And as a matter of fact, the tweets that you see are run indeed under her supervision by the SPP in particular, and by myself, by Dana, by Jens, by a group of people who are involved in her communication activities. This company has absolutely nothing to do with how the tweets are either prepared, validated, or published. But from time to time, she has a call with them to see what is their external opinion on our performance. I hope they tell her that our performance is good. To give you an example, this morning there was a daily video conference of our Corona response group. You didn't see a tweet simply because we did not have time ourselves to prepare a tweet, and no external company came in and basically did the tweet for us. So this is what I can answer. Now, of course, if for any reason whatsoever it is felt that there is an issue, it will be looked into. But this certainly does not seem to us to be a major issue. Okay, do I have other questions on this? Christina, is it on this?
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Go ahead, Christina.
Thank you for taking my question. Just a quick follow-up on this. Can the Commission confirm whether the Commission President was made aware or is aware of the process for designating special advisors? And will she consider disclosing this information now, considering this story? Thank you.
I don't know the answer to that question. I'm sure that the President is, of course, aware of the procedure to appoint special advisors. But again, these are not special advisors. These are people which the President-elect of the Commission, or even before she was President-elect, when she was a candidate to become President-elect, signed to provide her with support in that phase and advice after that phase. So again, we will look into it to see if anything needs to be modified. David, is it on this?
Merci Eric.
C'est sur ce site?
Toujours. Oui, absolument, c'est toujours sur ce site. Le problème que personnellement je vois, c'est le fait que ce contrat n'a pas été terminé le jour où la présidente est devenue présidente de la commission. Parce que c'est vrai qu'elle est conseillée par cette société externe avec un contrat privé, mais elle a un rôle public et une fonction publique très claire. Donc, est-ce que vous voyez un problème sur ça? Pourquoi elle n'a pas décidé d'arrêter ce contrat tout de suite après sa nomination? Deuxième question, nous dit que ça sert à la présidente pour vérifier quelle est son image sur les social media, etc. Donc, si vos tweets marchent, si ça fonctionne en termes d'image et tout ça, mais est-ce que vous ne faites pas vous-même une analyse de tout ça? Est-ce que vous n'avez pas des services internes qui suivent l'activité sociale de la Commission, les résultats que vous avez. Et si oui, si vous avez ces services internes, comme j'imagine et j'espère en quelque sorte, pourquoi ne pas utiliser les services internes au lieu qu'une société externe avec un contrat privé?
Mais encore une fois, je veux dire, l'un n'empêche pas l'autre. Tu peux très bien... nous avons un service ici qui nous permet à nous, les porte-paroles et d'autres personnes qui travaillent au sein de la Commission, de recevoir des conseils sur notre performance face à la caméra, par exemple. Voilà. S'exprimer clairement en public, essayer de rester calme face aux questions. Bref, tu vois le genre de choses. Et bien entendu, ce sont des services que nous utilisons. Mais qu'est-ce qui nous empêche à nous de vouloir rechercher en plus, à titre privé, l'avis d'un coach, en quelque sorte? C'est quand même une prérogative que chacun d'entre nous a dans sa carrière de chercher ce genre de conseils en dehors de ceux fournis par l'institution pour avoir un avis éventuellement plus neutre parce que justement externe. Donc c'est la même chose en ce qui concerne les tweets. Crois-moi, chaque fois qu'on sort une vidéo ou un tweet, bien entendu, ensuite on regarde pour voir si ça s'est bien passé, est-ce qu'on pourrait faire mieux la prochaine fois. On lit vos commentaires souvent très pertinents sur la qualité, toujours très pertinents même, sur la qualité des activités sociales sur les médias sociaux de la présidente. Mais l'un n'empêche pas nécessairement l'autre. Donc voilà, c'est ça la logique qu'il y avait dans ce contrat. Mais encore une fois, s'il se révélait qu'il fallait adapter cela d'une manière ou d'une autre, je suis sûr que la présidente le regardera avec attention.
Un follow-up, Eric?
Bien sûr.
La différence, c'est que Madame von der Leyen est présidente de la Commission, pas un fonctionnaire européen. Et, à moins que vous définiez le président de la Commission comme un simple fonctionnaire européen. Donc, elle a des responsabilités politiques, pas seulement des fonctions prévues du statut. Alors, peut-être moi, je dois faire du coaching, je peux faire du coaching, je devrais faire du coaching, je te rassure. Mais là, il y a une différence essentielle, c'est-à-dire elle a une responsabilité politique, elle a une organisation, une institution à son service, et elle demande à une société externe d'évaluer sa performance.
David, il faudrait peut-être que vous nous expliquiez en quoi cela est contraire à une règle européenne. Parce que c'est très bien de nous dire il y a un problème, mais quel est le problème? Quel est le problème? À partir du moment où quelqu'un te regarde les tweets ou les vidéos que tu fais et te dit en termes de cadrage, ça nous semble que ce soit pas idéal, en termes de choix vestimentaires que vous avez fait, etc., il nous semble que ce soit pas bien. Pas sur le fond. Aucun des messages que la commissaire ne passe dans les médias sociaux n'est validé par qui que ce soit d'autre que son équipe de communication et elle-même. Il faut que ça se soit très clair. Il s'agit de conseils qui lui sont fournis sur des aspects strictement visuels, esthétiques, etc. Franchement, je trouve quand même qu'il faut bien comprendre la nature des conseils qui sont donnés. Encore une fois, le texte des messages que vous voyez qui est publié, que ce soit dans les vidéos ou sur ces tweets, sur les réseaux sociaux en général, c'est rédigé et validé par nous, ces spécialistes de communication, en accord avec elle, sans aucune intervention de qui que ce soit à l'extérieur. Je veux que ça, ce soit absolument clair. Il me semble donc que le sujet dont nous parlons est d'une nature extrêmement anecdotique. Mais maintenant, encore une fois, la présidente, évidemment, va regarder ça de nouveau pour voir s'il pourrait y avoir le moindre signe que cela ne correspond pas à je ne sais quelle règle qui pourrait exister et on prendra les décisions en conséquence. Mais encore une fois, les messages, le contenu politique de ce que dit la présidente est défini par elle-même et son équipe de communication et ses conseillers, bien entendu, à l'intérieur de la commission. Voilà. Je vois que Quentin a encore une question sur ce sujet. Quentin.
Oui, c'était juste pour même que ce soit une activité privée et que ce soit payé par ces activités privées, il n'y a pas de souci. La question que moi je me pose, c'est est-ce qu'il y a eu, au niveau du secrétariat général de la Commission ou d'autres services, une étude par rapport à l'éthique, et notamment si le comité d'éthique s'est chargé un peu de travailler sur ces questions-là. Je parle notamment au niveau des articles 4 et 5 sur les procédures de conflit d'intérêts et sur les questions de collégialité et de discrétion. Parce que, au-delà d'avoir ce problème de ces questions de coaching, on se rend compte que cette entreprise travaille aussi avec d'autres gouvernements ou d'autres autorités publiques, notamment sur la crise du coronavirus. Donc, c'est la question que moi je me pose, c'est en termes de conflit d'intérêts, mais aussi en termes d'éthique, est-ce que les services internes de la Commission ont travaillé dessus?
Excuse-moi, c'est elle qui paye l'entreprise pour obtenir des conseils, pas l'inverse. Donc, conflit d'intérêts, c'est généralement dans l'autre sens que cela pourrait se passer. Mais là c'est elle qui avait signé un contrat pour l'aider à mettre en place ces médias sociaux. Et donc, c'est elle qui paye l'entreprise. Je n'ai pas de réponse, je n'ai pas la réponse à ta question pour voir si il y a eu une analyse de fait sur les points que tu as soulevés. Encore une fois, il s'agissait d'un contrat de nature privée entre elle et des conseillers sur les aspects communication au sens technique de communication de ces activités sur les médias sociaux. Et maintenant, vu les questions qui sont posées, nous allons regarder cela attentivement et nous reviendrons s'il y a des changements à apporter. Voilà. Je ne vois plus de questions sur ce sujet. Avez-vous d'autres questions pour nous aujourd'hui? Alors, je vois Anna Fandensky qui avait une question. Anna.
Oui, bonjour tout le monde. J'ai la question concernant la coronavirus. Lorsque maintenant les restaurants en Europe sont fermés, mais après, il y a beaucoup de restaurants où il y a la vente d'animaux, de la viande d'animaux sauvages. Donc, c'est-à-dire, ma question est concernant l'importation de la viande d'animaux sauvages d'hors de l'Europe, par exemple de l'Afrique, etc. Et aussi de la vente dans la chaîne de la nourriture, parce que dans le supermarché, parfois aussi, on peut acheter les viandes exotiques. Donc, qui est la position et recommandation de la Commission européenne concernant ces sujets en visant coronavirus et cette nouvelle situation?
Excuse-moi, je ne suis pas sûr qu'on ait compris le sens de ta question. Notre position sur quoi exactement?
La sécurité de la nourriture. La sécurité de la nourriture, parce que maintenant, c'est le problème avec la santé, parce qu'il y a plusieurs des virus zoonotiques, par exemple, en Afrique, Ebola s'est propagé encore une fois, et ils sont tous comme les autres virus. Il y a 200 maladies provoquées par les virus zoonotiques selon l'Organisation mondiale de la santé. Et maintenant, les experts sont concernés que toujours c'est possible acheter et consommer la viande des animaux sauvages. Et pourtant, moi, je suis intéressée que la politique et la stratégie de la Commission vis-à-vis ce sujet très actuel. Parce qu'il y a le danger. Maintenant, il n'y a pas de danger imminent parce que les restaurants sont fermés, par exemple. Il y a aussi beaucoup de supermarchés qui sont une palette de viande réduite pour le moment. Mais quand même, c'est le sujet qui est pertinent.
Sans rentrer dans les détails, on peut voir si on a une réponse plus particulière à te fournir après, parce que je ne pense pas que nous puissions te répondre très très précisément maintenant, mais tu n'es pas sans savoir que, bien entendu, il y a des normes sanitaires et phytosanitaires extrêmement strictes au niveau de l'Union européenne pour tout ce qui est vente de produits alimentaires. Et que, bien entendu, ces normes et ces règles s'appliquent sans exception aux importations de produits alimentaires qui viennent de pays tiers. Donc il faut que n'importe quelle importation en provenance d'un pays tiers, que ce soit de viande sauvage ou de viande d'élevage, respectent nos normes sanitaires avant de pouvoir être mises sur le marché. Voilà, si nous avons d'autres éléments à te fournir, Anna, on reviendra vers toi, mais je pense sincèrement que c'est à peu près cela que nous pouvons dire pour le moment. Alors, je voudrais maintenant passer, sauf s'il y a d'autres questions sur ce sujet, mais je ne crois pas. Je voudrais revenir à Ivan, qui, je crois, avait demandé la parole pour Anna.
Good afternoon, Eric. Thank you very much. Yes, I have a question for Anna.
Go ahead.
Yesterday, EU leaders said that a video conference with Western Balkan countries leaders will be held on the 6th of May. Previously, it was announced that during the summit in Zagreb, a big investment package will be presented to Western Balkans region. So my question is, will that package be presented despite of new measures due to COVID-19? Thank you very much.
Anna, are you with us? For the first time, I think. Yes, Anna.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you, yes.
Can you hear me? Okay, thanks. So just to say first, maybe that, for us, the decision of the EU leaders to hold a video conference with their Western Balkan counterparts absolutely shows that the region is a priority for us, especially in these very challenging times because of the coronavirus crisis, of course. The summits will be an opportunity actually to discuss how best to support our partners to tackle the coronavirus. And we have acted very fast, as you know, to help our partners be able to address the immediate needs in the health sector and also to mitigate the socioeconomic impact of the crisis. We've put on the table a substantial package. We're talking about more than 410 million plus another 290 million that will help also bring liquidity in cooperation with financial international institutions. And you're very well aware of the latest decision in terms of extra macro financial assistance. So, for us now, we're really concentrated on deploying this package and on implementing it on the ground. And we will continue to work on the economic investment package. That's what we can say for now. So we will continue to work on this package, but for now, the priority for us is implementing, our assistance to tackle COVID. I don't know if that replies to your question, Ivan.
Thank you very much, Anna. Okay. Are there any other questions for Anna? For the moment, I don't see any. Any other questions still for us today? Yes, David Price, you had a question.
Hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can. Hi, David.
Okay, thank you. In just over a couple of weeks is the 9th of May, which this year is a very special year because it's the 75th year we've had peace in Europe, and also the 70th anniversary of the Schuman Declaration. I'm wondering what is happening about the commemorations and celebrations of that particular date. Has the whole thing been postponed?
I'm afraid that I can't answer that question for the moment. We're obviously aware of the symbolism of the date that you have just reminded us of. And obviously, reflections are ongoing on how to move forward on the 9th of May events. But indeed, in view of the circumstances, we have to see what the situation will be around that date. So I'm afraid that I can't give you any more specific information on our plans for that day for the moment. All right, I think that Tommaso Galavotti had a question. I could see he had raised his hand before. Tommaso, you have the floor.
Yes, good morning. Apologies for the delay, but I got just a question for Marta, if I may. it's just a question on timing on the Commission proposal on the recovery fund, because yesterday President von der Leyen talked about the second or the third week of May, but I've seen other dates floating around, like the 29th of April or 6th May, and do we know when you're going to bring this issue in the college? Thank you.
So this is not a question for Marta, but for me, Tommaso, actually. Thank you very much for the question. Indeed, the president gave a time range, which clearly reflects the fact that we want to take into account the result of the discussion with the leaders yesterday. And as she has made herself very clear during her press conference yesterday, we will be in close contact with the member states during the preparation phase of this proposal, which is a joint proposal also with the MFF. So the specific timing is not yet fixed. Obviously, we are looking towards somewhere which is around the second week of May. But we have to wait, first, second, third week of May. We have to see exactly how things will go. And as you know, we only confirm Commission agendas once the relevant session, weekly session of the heads of cabinet has taken place. So I would say for the moment, keep in mind that we intend to come forward with our proposal, if everything goes according to plan, somewhere in that first half of May or around mid-May. Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tommaso. Lukáš, we will move to you now.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Hi.
So I would like to ask about yesterday's Libe committee meeting in the European Parliament. Commissioner Reinders said that he wanted that you...
Lukáš, sorry, we can hear you very badly. Could you please try to fix your microphone?
Or maybe now it's better?
Yes, thank you.
So I would like to ask about the yesterday Libe committee meeting.
Okay.
Commissioner Reinders said that he wanted the EU Council deal with the elections planned in Poland under the procedure Article 7 of the EU Treaty. So he also emphasized that he's in contact with the Croatian presidency on this matter. So how should we interpret these words? Is the Commission preparing any proposal in this matter, any discussion?
Okay, we didn't hear absolutely everything, but I understand that your question relates to the statement made by Commissioner Reinders yesterday in the Libe committee related to the Polish presidential elections. So Christian will give you our take on this.
Yes, hi Lukáš. What I can tell you on this is the following. During yesterday's debate in the European Parliament, Libe Committee, Commissioner Reinders expressed his concerns regarding presidential elections on the 10th of May, given the current crisis situation. Elections need to be free and fair. It is, however, for member states to decide whether to maintain or postpone planned elections. The position of the Commission on this matter has been clear and it has not changed. While the Commission always stands ready to support the Council in the Article 7 proceedings on any issue that need to be discussed, the Polish elections as such are not an issue we plan to raise in this context.
Okay, thank you very much, very clear. Any other questions for Christian whilst he is on the podium? I do not see any, thank you very much. Any other questions for us today? Tommaso, I see you have asked the floor again.
Yes. Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, but make sure that you are close to your microphone.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, absolutely.
Okay. It's just, I apologize for this question because it might seem provocative, but I just wonder if the Commission thinks that injecting disinfectant in the lungs might be a therapy for the COVID-19. because that's what actually the President of the United States said in a press conference yesterday. I just wonder if the Commission has anything to say about this. Thank you so much.
We don't. We have excellent medical advisors in the European Union, and we turn to them for advice on how to treat the coronavirus disease, not to other sources. Unless, of course, they are, like the WHO, specialized in these issues. Nawab Khan had asked for the floor, I suspect, on a different subject. Nawab, you have the floor.
Yes, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Hi.
Yes. Hi, thank you. My question is for Peter Stano.
He's here. Go ahead.
Yes, first of all, my hearty congratulations on your birthday. And secondly, as you are aware that today is the start of the fasting month of Ramadan in the Muslim world. On this occasion, what is your appeal to the fighting for the ceasefire, for the fighting, whether it's in Libya or in Yemen or else in the world? You got a special appeal on this day. Thank you.
Nawab, we couldn't hear exactly everything that you said, but I understand that you would like Peter to give you our position and our appeal related to the need for ceasefires and conflicts across the world. Peter, you have the floor.
Yes, I hope you can hear me properly.
We can, and happy birthday again. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. That's very kind to you, Eric, colleagues, and also to Nawab. And indeed, I mean, Ramadan Kareem, happy holy month and happy start of the Ramadan to all people who are observing the holy month. It's indeed special period for people of Muslim faith. And this period actually is also one more impetus for all those who have any impact on advancing or stopping the conflicts to really do their utmost to stop. Because the European Union, if you were asking Nawab about what we are doing in terms of like appealing or having new calls, I mean, if you just of what we have been saying, issuing and stating over the last few days on the array of countries which are affected by the conflict, in addition to fighting the coronavirus, I mean, that's something that is very consistent from the part of the European Union. We are calling on all actors and all those who have influence on the actors in the conflict to stop fighting. And regardless of the start of Ramadan, regardless of coronavirus, I mean, that's our consistent position that we want to see all the conflicts stopped and issues and disputes solved in political way and by peaceful means. So the appeal at the start of Ramadan is the same as it has been all along. Stop fighting, solve the disputes behind the negotiating table by peaceful means. And this specific period in the specific part of the world, which is observing the holy month, should be another added impetus for all those who have a way to contribute to fighting to be stopped and to solutions to be found, to allow people proper, normal lives in peace, safety, and prosperity. And once again, Ramadan Kareem.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nawab. Thank you, Peter. Any other questions on external affairs for Peter or Virginie? I do not see any. Any other questions for us today? Pardon? Non, je ne vois pas. So it's Nikolai? Go ahead, Jonathan. I can't see, but apparently we have a further question from Nikolai, you say? Nikolai Nielsen. Sorry, you're not on my screen, Nikolai, but you have the floor.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. Thank you. Yes, I was wondering so Nikolai Nielsen, EU Observer. I was wondering to what extent the European Commission is aware of migrants paying smugglers to leave the European Union because of the pandemic, and in particular from Spain towards Morocco. Thank you.
Now that is a really, really new take on this issue that I have personally not heard about. I'm not even sure who would be responsible. Peter, perhaps? If not you, then Adalbert. Peter, have you heard anything on this?
Yes, I would defer to Adalbert because this is a purely immigration or migration issue. But I can add from the external dimension that although not being able to comment on this specific information mentioned by Nikolai, that indeed we have seen in certain partner countries outside of the EU that the migration flows actually decreased due to the, of course, limitations and restrictions for movement in relation to coronavirus. But the opposite direction on that I cannot comment because it's not really the external dimension from Spain to Morocco. So this is more for Adalbert.
Adalbert, on your side, any comment you would want to make on this?
Thank you. And I believe what Nicola is referring to is an article that appeared in El País today, and we have seen it this morning. And indeed, it refers to a commission document, but we are still clarifying exactly what this is about. So if that is okay for you, Nikolai, we will come back to you as soon as we've got full clarity about about this issue.
All right. Okay. Any other questions for us today? I do not see any, so I would like to call Balázs up. You know that on Fridays we like to have a bit of a cultural moment. We have Suzanne, who now gives us highlights for the weekend, and you know, like we like to do a bit of poetry or literature. So for a change, we're going to go to Hungary, and Balázs is going to read to us the beginning of a poet, and he will pronounce the name himself. I don't want to make a mistake. In English, the title of the poem is very appropriate. It's called Patience and Courage. Now, this is in Hungarian. We only have the English translation, so for those of you who are following us on EBS, you will have the English translation. But for the rest of us, it's an opportunity to hear the beautiful Hungarian language live. Balázs, the floor is yours.
Indeed, thank you for this excellent introduction, Eric. I'm going to read out a poem written by the famous 19th century Hungarian poet called Arany János, and the poem is entitled in Hungarian as Enyhülés. Kél és szál a szív viharja, mint a tenger vésze. Fájdalom a boldogságnak egyik alkatrésze. Az örömnek levegőjét megtisztítja bánat, a kizajlott búfelhőkön szép szivárvány támad. Tegnap a remény is eltört, az utolsó árbóc, csupán a kétség kötött egy gyalló deszkaszálhoz. Ma fölöttem és alattam ég és tenger sima, zöld ligetnek lombja bókol, felém, mint egy hívva.
So just the end of the extract which Balázs has read basically says that, but yestereve hope felled the only mast left standing on my ship, and dim despair lashed me onto a plank. Yet now the air above me and the waters all around are soft and tranquil. Wooded hollows fair beckon me with green arms to the safe ground, and all the terrors of the storm are past. Patience and courage. Thank you very much, Balázs. We wish you all a nice weekend. Remember that we have another series of press events to follow. And for my part, I will see you on Monday with great pleasure. Thank you very much.